guys. So as I'm sure a lot of you know, I released a EP last year, and I did lessons on all the songs, but for some reason I just kept forgetting to do a lesson for my song Haste, and that just happened to be probably the more involved song. So I'm going to do my best to go through it. There's a couple parts that Grant Henry had played that I'm going to play as far as I know how to play them. I just kind of did it by ear. I'm going to try and do rhythm first, and then I'll take care of the lead stuff second, and hopefully just try to keep it as simple as possible. So overall, guitar tone is pretty low gain, but it's still got a little bit of bite to it. So it's not as heavy as I usually would go. I believe I recorded this song with I think it was a little bit with my Telecaster with the bare knuckle pile drivers, and then I did some with my 335 back there. I'm pretty sure that's what I did. It is in half step down, so it's E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B flat, E flat. I hope I'm still in tune. I should be okay. Alright, so it starts off with intro riff that you do a few different times during the song. It goes like this. So all you're doing there is a 5 on the lowest string, and then you're doing a 4 on the next string, and then an open note on the lowest, not the lowest, but the third string. So it's 5 4 0, or 5 4 5 0. Sorry. So 5 4 5 0 4 5 4. And then you're doing that same pattern just in different notes. So on this one you're sliding up to a 7 on the lowest string, then a 5, and then you're doing an open note on that third string, but you're also doing a 7. So 7 5 7 7 open. And then you're sliding down to a 3 2 and a 3, so a 3 on the lowest string, and then you're starting on a 4 on that third string, and then pulling off, and then you're doing a 5 4. It's a little different, but it's pretty easy once you slow it down. So altogether, really slow. The intro goes like this. So once you get through that, it goes to basically a strummed version of that, and it's using pretty much the same chords. I just realized that you probably can't see some of my playing down there. So it's just 3 simple chords. It's a 5 on the first string, 4 on the next string. You're muting the third string, and then on the fourth string you're doing a 6. And then you're sliding up to a 7 5, mute, and then a 7. And then you're you're sliding down to a 3, 2, mute, 4. So that's pretty simple. You don't have to do too much with that. Just kind of get used to the chord shapes anyway. I really fell in love with those type of chord shapes when I was recording this album. And I don't know, I started using them a lot, and I use them a little bit in the new stuff that I'm recording too. So, so after you do that, it goes to, I guess, the verse, if you want to call it the verse, and it's pretty similar in the shapes and patterns, but it's a bit higher up, and you'll see. So it starts on a 10, then a 9, another muted third string, and then an 11. Yeah, so 10, 9, mute, 11. And obviously the last 2 strings are muted too. I haven't been playing those. I'm just kind of muting those with my other finger. And then it goes down to a 9 on the first string, a 7 on the second string, and then it's skipping over to a 9 on the 4th string. And then it slides down, same exact shape. It does a 7, a 5, a muted string, and then a 7. So it goes like this. So you do that twice, and then it changes a little bit. It goes. So it starts on that same chord. It's a 10, 9, mute, 11. And then it goes up to a 12, 10, mute, 12. And then it goes down to the 5, 4, mute, 6. And then goes up to 7, 5, mute, 7. And then back down to that previous one. And then slide down, same pattern. It's 3, 2, mute, 4. And on that chord, it's getting ready to build up to the pre-chorus. So I go like this. So what I'm doing is I'm leaving that 4th note on that 4th string, and then I'm lifting up on everything else and then hammering down on it. So slowly the last part goes like this. That's not very slow, is it? I take back what I said before. It goes from the to that one, and then it goes straight to the 3, 2, 4. It doesn't go back down to this one. So after that, it does a little picking part. It goes like this. Pretty simple. It just repeats that. So it's 2, open, open, and then 3, 2, open, back to the 2, 0, 2, open, open. Then you play that first couple notes again. So you're doing that first 2 notes, and then sliding up to a 7, 5, open, and then a 5, 4, open, and it just repeats. So it goes like this. So that last chord that's just building up heavier is just the 3-2 open. If you want, you can do the fourth on that fourth string. But I don't believe I recorded it that way. But if you want it to sound a little fuller, you can do that. And when the chorus comes in, it goes like this. Repeats. So that first chord is just a D chord. It is a 0 on the third string, then a 2 and a 3. I don't do that highest note. I leave that one off. Usually. I don't know, I guess it depends on my mood, but that's the chord. And then it's like a variation of the A chord, but it's a 0 on the A, then a 2, 2, and then a 3, and then that last string's muted. And I'm muting that lowest string too. So, and then it goes down to just an A chord, which is 0, 2, 2, 2. And then it goes to a 2 on the lowest string, and then the second string's muted, and then an open, and then a 2 and a 3. So 2, mute, open, 2, 3. And then the next one is a 3, 2, open, open, 3. Which is almost the G, but it's not quite. This would be a G. This is the chord that I'm actually playing. So I'm just not playing that last string. And then it just goes back to the intro again. Pretty simple. And then it goes into like the next part of the intro again. And it's playing those same chords, but it's playing like a little bit of a shuffle kind of thing going. And all I'm really doing is I'm just throwing like a mute in there. Nothing too crazy. And then it goes back to that same and so on. And it goes back to the then back to the same chorus. And then it goes to the bridge, which is definitely one of my favorite parts for the rhythm anyway, and it goes like this. And that's just using chords that I've been playing the whole song, just a little different rhythm and changes, I guess. So it goes 5, 4, mute, 6. And then slide down, same position, 3, 2, mute, 4. I guess some of those I could be playing open notes, but it can get a little muddy sometimes if you do all of them. I usually mute it. So, and then it goes, actually no, it goes like this. So, first two chords, and then it goes into a 7, 5, 7, 7, 5 muted 7. I'm all over the place right now. I told you this one was one of the more of a pain in the ass songs to do. So then from that 7, 5, mute 7, goes back down to the 5, 4, mute 6, and then it goes up to a 10, 9, mute 11, and then back down to the 3, 2, mute 4. So 3 of those chords are all the same fingering, anyway, the same shape. Those 3 are all the same. The only one that's different is all you're doing is just switching your middle finger for your ring finger. And then the solo comes in and you're still doing this. And right when you get to that last chord, it changes to like the next part of the solo where it just goes. And then you do that one more time. So that's just same chords you've been using. It's a 3, 2, mute, and then a 4. And then same thing, just same shape, just move it up 2 steps. And it's 5, 4, mute 6. And then 7, 5, mute 7. And then back down to this previous one. And then the solo will end. And then it goes to the little pre-chorus thing. Wait a second, what does it do? I'm blanking. I played this a couple times today since I haven't played it in so long. Let me refresh myself. Yeah, it does do that. Yeah, so it does that same part again. But on that very last part with the 3, 2, 0, you're just doing a chord. And it rings out, and then it goes to a little bit different version of the chorus where a couple parts are picked out and some parts are just one big strum, not continuous strum, so it goes like the. Yeah, so it goes like this. So, doing the same notes as the normal chorus, and it's that first D chord, the A with the extra note on the 3. Oh, fuck that up. And then the normal A chord, but instead of strumming, you're just doing one strum. And then you're doing a picked version of that next chord. And so that's just a 2 on the first string, then you go to an open note on the next, on the third string, and then a 2 and a 3 on the next 2 string. And I actually go back to a 2, and then I play that same chord again, the 3, or the same last chord of the chorus. So it's a 3, 2, 0, 0, 3. And you go back into the full chorus again. And then it just goes back into that that bridge riff again. So that very last part does 2 strums on the first 3 chords, and then it just does a 1 strum on the last chord. So it goes. So I'm gonna cut this video right here, and I'm gonna start a new video just for all the lead stuff. So yeah, see you in a second. Alright, so I realized the last video was a little hard to see, just when I'm playing down like this. So I'm going to try and leave the camera there, and hopefully you can see everything, not including my junk. So hopefully I explained the rhythm stuff good enough. If you have any questions on that, absolutely let me know. So to start off with the melodies and the lead playing, basically the intro is the intro that I already showed you. And then once you get to the next part where it actually strums, it has a lead section that Grant Henry does, who is the one that did all the mixing mastering. And I'm just guessing on what he plays here. Some of the parts are a little hard to hear, but I think I pretty much got it. So it goes like this. That was a little shitty, but you get the idea. That's why you listen to the song and not me, because I'm rusty. So that is a 17. A 17, a full bend up to the 19, back down to the 17, pull off to the 15, and then back to the 17, and then like a little vibrato. And then basically a 15, 17, bend back up to the 19. And then you're doing a 17 on the highest string. So you're doing that 17, and then you go back to the 17 on, I meant to say 17 on the highest fret, and then 17 back on that B string, and then it slowly descends back to the normal note, which would be the 17, and then down to the 15 again. That same thing again, just the 17, going up to the 19, then 15, 17. And then the next time you do that 17 on the highest fret again, but you're keeping the 17 on the B string that's bent up to the 19, right where it is, and you're doing a little vibrato. And you're just hitting both strings. And then, so 17 up to the 19 again. And this part, I swear I can't get it quite right, but I'm pretty sure it goes like this. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's a 14 on the G string, a 15, I'm thinking it's a 15 on the next string, and then a 17, and then a 17 on the last string. But honestly, I could be a little wrong, I'm not sure. So that part is a 17, 15, 14, and then a 17 on the B string, then 15, 14 on the E, and then you're doing a little bend on that 17 again, then back to the 14 on the G string, and then you just do that same thing over again. And then that 17 bends up to the 19, back down to the 17, and then the 15. So that part's a pain in the ass. Hopefully I explained that well enough. Next part's a little easier, just goes like this. And that is a 11 on the G string, then a 12 back to the 11, and then a 14-12 on the D string. And then you're doing 12-14 on the A string, and then the same thing on the next string up, and then back to the 11, and then same thing again. That is a 14, 12, 11 on the G string, and then a 12 on the next string up. Then that's the same thing, but when you get to that 12 on the D string, you slide up to the 14. And that last little part is, so it's an 11 to the 12, back to the 11 on the G string, then a 14 on the D, and then 12, 11 on the G, and then down to the 14 and a 12 on the D string. So slowly that part goes like this. Then it goes to the pre-chorus, which doesn't have any leads technically. And then the chorus is a little tricky because each chorus is different and it's a little easy to mix up which one is which. But the first chorus goes like this. Does it go like that? How does it go? That's a terrific question. Let me listen to it again real quick. Yeah, that was right. It was this one. Yeah, I forgot. I don't go down here on the first chorus. I do that on the next two. So it starts off on that 9 on the G, up to an 11, back down to the 9, then the 7, down to the 6. Then I do a slide from the 7, 9 on the D, to a 7 on the G. So that is a 7-9 on the D, a 7-9 on the G, and then so 7-9, 7-9, and then 7 on the G again, and then a 9 on the D, and then I slide from the 9 on the G to the 11, back down to the 7. So after that, how's that one go? Yeah, it does that part. It does 11, 9, 7. It does it twice. And then 6, 7 on the G, and then a 7 on the D. Then that part again just ends a little different. So a lot of these notes have very slight bends to them. Or slight vibratos anyway. So I realized I didn't explain that very well, but I'm going to just slow it down for you, and hopefully that helps. And then it goes back to the intro again. And then it does the next part where I was telling you how Grant does his guitar section, but it's a little different, and just some of it's palm muted. So when I'm doing this part, or whatever the hell I'm doing, I forget. He's going like this. Something like that. So it's the same notes, but he's just palm muting a couple different ones. So he's going. Same thing, basically. And for this next part, instead of doing, I'm doing basically just a lower version of that. That's how that goes. You don't need me to teach you that. I'm just kidding. So it starts on a 4 on the D string, and then a 5, and then back to the 4, and then a 7, 5 on the A string, and then 5, 7 on the lowest string, 5, 7 on the next string, and then back to the 4. And this is where it changes a little rhythm compared to the first time through. So it goes 7, 5, 7, 5, 4 on the D string, and then 5, 4, 5 on the A string. So it goes like. Then a little fast part with some palm muting. So that is palm muted 4. You're hitting that 4th note on the A string twice. So 4, 4, 5, 7 on the A string, and then 4, 5, 7 on the D string. And then 6 on the G. And then 7, 6, 7. Or no, just 6, 7, 6. And then a 7 on the D. This is getting a little confusing. And then, yeah, after that it slides up to the 9 on the G. Then a 7, 6 on the G. 7 on the D again. Then 5, 4, 5. Back to the 7. Up to the 9, all on the D string. And then a 10 on the A string, down to the 9, then to the 5, then you do a 7 and you do a slow bend up pretty much as high as you can go. Actually, whatever that note is. Yeah, so just up a full step. But it's kind of slow. So let me show you that whole section a little slowed down. Hopefully it helps. Full speed it goes like this, not like that. So after that it goes back to and so on, and nothing really changes there. I just I go into that part a little differently with the second guitar. So that other part is going, and that next part has already started, and then with the lead guitar I go in, that's where I go in, right on that 7 slide up. So if you care to know that part. And then goes to the chorus again, which, like I said, is a little different each time. And this one goes like this. So I'm going to try and just go through it slow real quick for you. Actually, on the guitar playthrough of the song, I don't do a 7/5. I do. Yeah, I just do it. So the only real difference between this chorus and the last one on the first section, anyway, is when it goes. So yeah, it goes from that 9 to the 11 a little bit quicker this time. Then 11/9, 7/6, all on the G string, and then on the D, 7/9, then a 7 on the G. Same thing as before, just a 7/9 on the D, 7/9 on the G, and then a 7 on the G, and then a 9 on the D. And that after the 9 on the D, it slides from the 9 on the G to the 11, and then back down to the 7. And then what's different about this time is when you're doing that bend on the 7, or the vibrato on the 7 on the G, you're doing a 9 and then a 7. So a 9 on the D and a 7 on the G, and you're just going back and forth. So nothing's really changed there. So that's just a slide up from the 9 to the 11. And then 6, 7, 6, or 6, excuse me, 6, 7, and then a 7 on the D. And then you're going down to a 2, or actually an open note. Open, 2, open again, all in the D. Then a 2, slide up to the 4. Back down to a 2, and an open, all in the D. So that part goes slide up from a 2 to a 4 on the A string. Then an open D, back to the 4 on the A. So slide up to the 4 on the A, 2, or actually an open D. Open D, back to the 4, and then an open, 2, open, hammer on, pull off. Then 4, 2, 0. And then a 7, 5. And a 4, all on the D string. And then a 5 on the A string. Or if you really wanted to, an open D. But I like having it on the 5 on the A just because you can do a bit of vibrato. And let me slow that down a little bit because that kind of sounded like a ass. Hopefully that was explained decently. And then it goes to the bridge, which is where the rhythm plays. So that plays twice, and then it goes into the chorus. And I just start it doesn't go in the chorus, it goes into the solo. I just start off on one of those. And it goes, which is hammer-ons 0, 2, 4 on the A string, D string, and G string. So, something like that. So yeah, after those 3 hammer-ons, it goes 7, 6, 9, 7, 11, 9, all on the G string. And then, so that is 12, 11, 9. And then that's all on the G string, and then a 12 on the D. And then 11, 12 again. I'm always fucking this thing up. And it's like my favorite solo on the whole album. God damn it. I think that's how it goes. Isn't it sad that I don't know my own song? Just need a refresher. goes. So that's a 7-9-7. 7-9-7 on the G, and then a 9 on the, that first 3 notes are on the G, and then a 9 on the D, back to the 7 on the G, and then a slide from the 9 on the G, slide from the 9 to the 11, back to the 9, and a 7, and then it slides up to the 14, and then ends on the 11. So after you go from the 14 to the 11, it does a 12, 12-11 on the G, and then a 12 on the D. So let's meet up to where we are now. So after the last part ends on the 12 on the D, it goes, which is similar to just higher up. So same notes. It's 11 twice on the G, or on the D, sorry, and then 12, 14, and 11, 12, 14 on the G. I literally just played it and I'm already fucking it up. Oh yeah, it just ends on the 12 on the B. So then it's just a 14, 15, 14, 12. And then a 12 on the high string. And then 15, 14, 15. And then 14. So 14 on the G, and then 14 on the B, hammer on to the 15, and then go down to the 12. So that's that little part. So that is a 2, 4, 2 on the D string, and then an open, and then an open G, and then a 4 and a 2 on the D, and then a 2 on the G, and then an open, and then a 4 on the D, and then 2 twice on the D, and then slide up to the 4 again on the D, and then you end on a 5 on the A. slide up to a 7 on the D, and then a 6 on the G, and then you go up to a 7 on the G. And so you do a 7 to a 6, down to a 7 on the D, and then you do a 9 on the G to a 6, back to the 7, a little vibrato, and then a 6, and then you end on the 4. So that's basically the whole solo. Let me just go through it really slow so you get the idea. So that's the whole solo, and then it goes back to the whatever, and then it goes. So that's basically the first part of the last chorus, because it's kind of broken down. That's when it goes like. That's what I'm doing. And then it goes straight into the full chorus. And then that part I already showed you earlier. And then it goes to a part that's actually not really going to work in this tuning, because I did it in drop D, or drop C sharp. And it's just doing a lower version of. So I just do the same thing when I'm playing it. It's slightly different, but like I said, I did it in drop D, and it kind of it sounds cool in the song, but it kind of ruins playing it a little bit. So sorry. And then it just goes back into, and that's when it's playing like the last little riffy part of the album. It goes. It goes. So you're leaving a 14 on the G, and you're doing 17, 15, 14 a little differently on the B. Yeah, it starts 17. So it's basically 14 on the G, 17 on the B, and then back to the 14 on the G, and then it's like a pull off from the 15 to the 14 on the B. Back to the 14. And then it just does a ascent, basically, from 14, 15, 17. Then 14, 15, 14. And then 16, 14, 12, 11. And then same thing again. And then that part, it starts on the 14, then it goes to the 15. And then a 16 on the G. And then a 14, and then a 12, and that's the last note. So that's a 15 on the B, then a 16, 14, 12 on the G. Shit. That's the whole song. I realized this video was very long. I'm hoping that my camera is actually still rolling, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, I know I didn't explain it that well. It's been a long time since I've played the whole thing. I mean, I played it a couple times this morning just to kind of get used to it, but I think it worked out for the most part in the end. So I appreciate everybody who watches this. If you ever end up doing a cover or something of this, feel free to show me. That'd be really cool. And of course, if you have any questions or I fucked up saying something, just let me know and I'll try to clarify it. So thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys later. See ya.